Hi everyone, welcome back to Louisville, Texas, our final match of Day 2. Team USA taking on China, along with James Smith of Total Water Polo, Greg Meskel here with you. And China will control the opening sprint in the dark caps. Team USA in the white, China led by head coach Ricardo Azevedo. Team USA and their head man Adam Krikorian and Ashley Johnson gets the start of net for Team USA, and defense there for the United States. Early on for China, they go with Pang Lin in the goal, and it'll be Team USA's first crack now on the offensive end. Here's Rachel Fatal now moving in. She'll take a look and skip it home. Rachel Fatal in the opening minute delivers a score here for Team USA.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, right? Fatal, the most valuable player at last year's FINA World Championships, and such a fantastic outside shooter. Here's China now on the perimeter and have some outstanding outside shooters. Shot clock under 10 now, and that's Mel Seidemann coming over. Thought she had a steal, but not the case. From the outside, Johnson getting up big to tip that one away. Our officials in this one, Mr. Rodriguez from Brazil and Ms. Wengenroth from Switzerland. Pass over the top. Shot clock to 6. Here's China working in close. New Guanan is stopped there by Ashley Johnson.
I think Team USA will look for that kind of defense every time.
Here's Nuschel. Big game last night for Kylie Nuschel. 5 goals in the win over Brazil. The entry inside to Fatal, who's posting up, draws an exclusion. So Rachel Fatal, a little bit of everything. Kick out is on Song Dong-loon. And here's Seidemann. Steffens takes a look. Mel Seidemann now with a bevy of fakes. Here's Nuschel. She'll work 2 meters, go to Steffens, the captain controlling. Courtney Mathewson now. Nothing there with the timer to 8. Seidemann field blocked and controlled by China. Sides come even, so good defense there on the man down for China.
Yeah, they looked very threatening, but the defense actually came through.
Inside, Johnson out, and she's able to halt that one on the low skip attempt from Song Dong-loon. And now in transition, Nuschel ahead of the field. Team USA with numbers. It's a 2-on-1. Nuschel and Craig. Kylie Nuschel moving in, faking, and scoring. A 2-0 lead for Team USA. Kylie Nuschel picking up where she left off last night.
A very fast start, and if that counterattack is as effective as that just was for the rest of the day, this could be a tough matchup for the Chinese. A very strong team.
Yeah, they have a couple of physical bodies at 2 meters. Some good outside shooters. Sun Ya-Ting not in right now, but she is a difficult cover at 2 meters. Quick shot attempt. Johnson gets a piece of that. She tips out shots that not everyone could even think about going to get.
It's one of these things where trying to hold back superlatives at the early part of the game. She's such a talent.
4:45 today, 4:45 rather left in the first. And 2-0, the lead for Team USA. And now a power play here for China. Melissa Seidemann is excluded. Ball comes near side. They work it around the perimeter, and 2-1 the score now. Scored for number 8, Chong Kong. Second look here at the power play delivery. And good ball movement on the perimeter. Able to go cross cage.
That's right.
Steffens now on the after goal play. Gives to Fatal. She'll have some room to work. Cami Craig in at 2 meters. Craig battling. Double team is there. Here's Fatal. Neutral leaking through on the other side. Mathewson. Shot clock to 10 for Team USA. You can see Craig tell Fatal attack. Steffens off the bar. Rebound controlled far side. And an exclusion against China. It's against Hong Kong.
Her quickness not only earned that rebound, but the exclusion as well. Just amazing.
Kylie Nuschel, Fatal. Steffens. Still on the advantage. Fatal sails that one, just lost the grip. Frustration there from Team USA bench as they failed to convert there. Stays 2-1, sides even.
Sort of faked herself out of balance.
China working near side. From the perimeter, field blocked. A couple of USA hands got there, didn't even make the keeper. And on the way down, we'll see an exclusion against China, and then a timeout called by Team USA. Zhang Weiwei is excluded. And Team USA with an opportunity. There's a look at head coach Adam Krikorian. And James, you had the honor to be a guest with Coach Krikorian today on the counterattack. I know you often live to be mentioned in the same sentence in coaching circles.
As I told you and him, I can't believe I got bumped by the head coach of the United States national team. Adam has been actually a very, very helpful for me, in particular about learning as much as I can about what's going on with this team. And almost, I think a lot of people like to know about the sort of nuances and the sort of things that they do day to day, what the day-to-day life of a national player is, what the travel's like. I think a lot of people consider that to be a hugely glamorous thing to do. There's parts of that, but it's also extraordinarily hard work and lots of little things that can be quite annoying, but it's all worth it in the end.
Yeah, largely a grind.
It is a grind. They don't get to be this good by not putting in the kind of effort that we're talking about.
A cool moment here Sunday in Dallas when the team arrived, greeted by local water polo athletes. Here's Maddie Musselman coming on. Those are the fun moments, but you get there by the long days of practice. Gilchrist. She's in the back of the net. Kaylee Gilchrist. Big bench group has just come on for Team USA, and Gilchrist takes advantage.
Scouting this team has to be tough for those who are trying to prevent all the really great shooters who are on this team.
I think we saw that over the summer. You go back to last year with the World Championships. Okay, you're going into Russia and you had to deal with Maggie Steffens and maybe Nuschel second on your list, and then Rachel Fatal decides to be the one that's going to go off.
Is it fair to say coming out of nowhere, but you have a former player of the year who you would think that if you shut her down, then you'll take away much of their offense, and here's Rachel Fatal who comes in and just tears it up.
Yeah, and it's hard to say the Junior World's MVP from 2013 is coming off the radar of Rachel Fatal, but that's just a sign of the depth.
It is.
Here's a turnover now in transition. 3-1 Team USA, and looking for more here on the break. An exclusion, much to the disbelief here of Zhang Kong. That's her second. Mackenzie Fisher is field blocked into the China bench, and sides will come even. So Team USA, for the 3-1 lead, struggling here on the power play, have yet to convert on the 6-on-5, now 0 for 3. From the outside, off the bar. And the rebound controlled by Team USA. Under 2 to play here in the first quarter. USA a big winner last night over Brazil 17-2. Here's KK Clark, who's checked in out of Menlo Park, California. And now Gilchrist. Mackenzie Fisher. 5 on the shot clock. Clark looking from the outside. Here's Steffens with a backhand. Maggie Steffens. 4-1 Team USA, 1:23 to play in the first.
Did you watch her queuing up the shot and think there's no chance that this is going to go?
Yeah, you thought, well, I know what she's going to do, but it's probably not going to work out.
You know what she wants to do, but no way.
Although, yeah, I think many assuming there were things Maggie Steffens couldn't do in the pool.
That's a very good point.
The exclusion called. And KK Clark is excluded. China calls for time. And, you know, with Team USA in town here this week, James and Louisville, lots of local media attention. All the local stations have come out, really filling practices the last couple of days. And talking about Maggie Steffens and talking with some journalists this morning after training, and they march right up to her and they say, Maggie Steffens, best player in the world, MVP. And she's very disarming with that. You know, no. You know, part of the team here. Sure, she has a trophy case that can go for days, but I think they really tend to buy into that. You know, we're kind of a part of a team, and we'll only go as far as the team goes.
And her teammates make it pretty easy because, as we just suggested, 2 other players of the year, players of the tournament, so
sure.
they those kinds of accolades get spread around, so it does make it a little bit easier.
Well, and if you want to stump people in a trivia question, which USA players haven't won the Coutinho Award? And Maggie Steffens is on that list.
Unbelievable.
Does she just get it like based off cumulative accomplishment when she goes back to college, like for that last year at Stanford?
It's like giving an old director an Oscar, you know?
Yeah, right. Let's bring him out for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Big field block there. Nuschel all over it. Bats it out of play. But Team USA will cough it up in transition. They give it right back.
Yep.
Clark able to come up with it. KK Clark with the steal, and then spotting Fatal, goalkeeper way out. This is trouble for China if Fatal can get a shot off, and the goalie's been excluded. So an exclusion there against Bang Lin. And now China will pack the cage here. Here's Steffens. China gambling there with the goalie out, and it leads to this. A 6-on-5 with the keeper out of the goal. Can USA take control here? Fisher. Clark. Skip shot, saved. Keeper coming back in. Here's Clark now. Nuschel. And USA adds another. Kylie Nuschel has her second. Second look here. Part of me thought, well, if you don't get the shot early, maybe wait to this moment.
It's probably, there's something to be said for that when they pack the goalkeeper. It's a bit of an awkward defense, but just the speed with which she's able to catch and shoot and turn is stunning.
I have to think that's one of the better chances to catch him off guard and that kind of transition back to the goalkeeper. Ashley Johnson lets fly, and that had the distance but not the accuracy. We've come to the end of one. All Team USA, 5-1 over China. Kylie Nuschel with 2 goals. We will take a break and return here with the second quarter. You're watching the FINA Women's Intercontinental Tournament live on USA Water Polo TV.
got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
Second quarter about to begin here in Texas. Don't forget to use the hashtag FINA Texas when talking about this event on social media. Opening sprint is controlled by China. They are wearing the blue caps, Team USA in the white. U.S. women, current champs in everything. Olympic Games, World Championships, World Cup, World League Super Final, Pan American Games. This event, they've taken to racing Pinewood Derby cars. They are just basically going to rack up every title.
They won those two.
Yep. Here's a steal. Steffens controlling. Here's Fatal. Kelly Gilchrist now going to go try and create some room here at 2 meters, but never mind, because Maggie Steffens will lob it in from the outside for her second, and a 6-1 USA lead.
A little variety. You know, you mentioned it, that there's you're sort of joking about how excellent this team is, and I think there's a bit of danger in being overconfident. And after having seen the European Championships and the Australian team earlier today, they have a lot of competition, and they look excellent tonight, obviously, and they should be very confident of that.
From the outside, Johnson there. Well, and it's interesting because if we didn't talk about it, you wouldn't hear from them. They really tend to avoid having to talk about all of the things they've won.
It's tough not to. They're as deep as any team. Well, they're the deepest team in the world.
Ordinary called. And actually they'll call an exclusion now. It's Kylie Nuschel. She goes out and a power play. 6-1 lead for Team USA. China looking to answer. Early stages here of the second quarter. We're back at it tomorrow. More games, 4:40 p.m. Central Time. We get things started. A few fakes off the bar, and the rebound to Gilchrist. Tomorrow's schedule, China, Canada to open things up, then Japan versus Team USA in that 6 p.m. slot, and then Australia, Brazil will close things out with the nightcap. Mackenzie Fisher tried to stuff that one near side, and an easy stop for Piang Lin. Johnson watches it go wide. Live stats available for this game and every match here at the Intercontinental Tournament via the Foch. Get full access at usawaterpolo.org. Just click on the FINA Intercontinental Tournament box on the homepage and it'll get you everything you need. Schedules, rosters, live webcast info, the whole deal. Fisher with the timer to 6. To Steffens. To 3. And that went off the bar. And it seemed as if the Chinese goalkeeper did not move a muscle when that shot came.
I think she was almost baiting her to try to think that she was going to draw the foul, and then next thing you know, the ball's over the cage. .5:15 to play.
Second half, here's China moving in Song Dong-loon, one of their top players, over to Zhao Zihan. Johnson punches that one back out towards the 5-meter area. I think what's unique also about Ashley Johnson, she makes some really loud saves.
That is impressive. I'll bet she would have rather had it sit right in front of her.
Yeah. Speaking of loud noises, Maggie Steffens bangs it off the post going cross cage. And she has a hat trick. You're right, you talk about the Johnson save, and I think back to shot blockers in basketball. It's a lot of fun to send that shot into the third row, but be more productive to your team if you could control it.
You're sitting there wagging your finger at the defender. It makes good for good TV, but what you want is for, of course, to sit right in front of you to key that very impressive counterattack.
James, not a fan of Dikembe Mutombo.
No, well, not as a water polo player.
Lob attempt. Johnson pulls that one down. She's got 7 saves thus far. Here's Fisher. Moving in, gives off to Seidemann. Seidemann tries to go back to Gilchrist, sails it high. And now Mathewson. Seidemann. Shot clock to 3. Cross cage is saved out. And a new shot clock here, new life coming.
And they salvaged that possession. I think Seidemann had some choices and she may have wanted to choose a different one.
Here's Fisher. Steffens gives a look. Looking inside to Craig. Ordinary called. Seeing a little double post potential there, but now Gilchrist fades out. Cammie Craig just in the spin cycle down low at 2 meters with Wang Jinyan. Timer to 7, 3:40 to go here in the first half. Mathewson will have to give a look. She's able to sneak it home near side to the corner.
That's a killer. I think the Chinese were mentally going the other direction.
Courtney Mathewson, again, end of the shot clock here, trying to figure out a spot. And that's one that the keeper will want back. Have that one lined up. Seidemann swarming, and Fisher comes up with it, deals it back to Johnson. So suffocating defense here from Team USA on the perimeter. Mackenzie Fisher. Here's Steffens. Into Craig, but hang on. Contra foul is the call, so no opportunity there. And another contra foul, so it'll go back to Team USA. Johnson pushing ahead to Seidemann. Seidemann takes a look with 17 on the clock, and she finds the corner.
This is a zone that the Chinese might regret. I mean, the shooters from the perimeter are so good. (9-1), USA in command here. I
thought this might be a bit of a closer match.
Well, I was actually just going to say the same thing. Team USA doesn't need to be complimented any more than they already are, but I did think that this was going to be a closer game.
Johnson there with the steal. In transition, an exclusion called. And now a timeout from Adam Krikorian. Exclusion will go on China and Shang Dunhan. Adam Krikorian, that's Chris Oding on the right, Dan Klatt on the left, two Olympians in men's water polo for Team USA. So Ricardo Azevedo, no stranger to the U.S. Olympic scene, his son Tony. Easily one of the best to ever wear the USA cap.
Yep. To start.
So on the 6-on-5 here, out of the timeout. Mathewson. Just as sides were coming even, she has another. Had to kind of look that into her hand a bit and then was able to deliver.
But with such pace and speed, it's just impossible to stop. Not just the shooting motion, but simply getting to the space where she was supposed to be.
This one's starting to shape up a lot like last night's game, a 17-2 win over Brazil. Lob attempt off the bar. We talked about Johnson, but generally speaking, a talented goalkeeper. They start making some saves, they're making some stops. How much do you think that plays into the mental aspect of where you're even thinking of shooting the ball?
Everything. You can see the hesitation that the Chinese have at this point, and you wonder whether the wise idea is to go for these off-pace shots. And unless you have perfect placement, and even then, she seems to get to those spots.
Under a minute to go here, first half. 10-1 lead for Team USA. China looking to put just about anything together right now. Song Dong-Loon, she's been quiet in this one. Shot clock about to expire. A bit of a busted possession here, and Johnson gathers that one cleanly. This is Aria Fisher, younger sister of Mackenzie Fisher. So the sister tradition continuing. It was Jessica and Maggie Steffens in 2012. And now these two here, Aria losing the handle there.
Yeah, she's not going to get that foul. And just what the United States needs is yet more young talent.
The pipeline stays full, and we've come to halftime with Team USA all over China in this one, 10-1. As we pull into the break, 9 saves for Ashley Johnson, 3 goals for Maggie Steffens, and we've reached intermission. We'll take a timeout, come on back for the third quarter. Stay with us here from the Louisville Westside Aquatic Center.
got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. Welcome back. Team USA in complete command here over China, 10-1 as we start things off in the third quarter. Along with James Smith, Greg Meskel here with you. Thanks for joining us on USA Water Polo TV. Maggie Steffens and Team USA control the opening sprint as we get things going here in the third. So James, if you're looking at things from Ricardo Azevedo's chair, what tweaks can you make here? Coming back 9 goals on Team USA, highly unlikely, but what can you do to make things more interesting?
It just seems to be that he's got to pick and choose his defenses when appropriate, just to work on them, really. Again, what do? Do you press to keep the shooters at bay, but then you have these great centers? Or do you do the opposite? Nothing has worked terribly well, but always you can work on these things in a matchup like this.
Plenty of time on the shot clock here from the outside. Johnson able to get a hold of that. Fatal. She'll pull it back out, give off to Steffens. To Craig. Tries to flip it up with the shot clock expiring, but can't get much on it. And China will take over.
Might have been their best defensive effort in some time.
Shot clock about to expire here on China. The lob. And a save for Johnson. Here's Fatal. Gives off to Steffens. Craig looking to create space. Craig in, turning, but a contra is the call. Cammie Craig's been a bit quiet here tonight. If we're looking at some areas where Team USA would like to improve moving forward.
That and power play, that's right.
The power play has been rough, 0 for 6. Turnover now. Neutral out in front. Craig gonna fill the lane here. And she'll get a look, so much for Cammie Craig being held in check. She's on the board.
Yeah, there was a moment there when the Chinese appeared to have taken that lane away, but no such luck.
And an 11-1 lead. Nicely done by Craig. Not often the center gets to get out on the counter. China on the attack now. They're trying to set things up at around 2.5 meters here. But Seidemann and Musselman defending. Fatal ready to drop back. Really forcing them to a perimeter shot, which is what they want. And you see why. If it's not a field block, Johnson's been making the saves.
And they, the defense compacted them into this small space that made it even more difficult for themselves. And is there a more communicative team in this field than the United States? They just never stop talking.
And Seidemann continues the scoring onslaught. Her second. And a 12-1 lead for the United States. Melissa Seidemann out of Stanford. Walnut Creek area, Northern California. Has a younger sister who plays for Dan Klatt at UC Irvine, so certainly a water polo playing family. Quick turn, and China gets one back. Shang Dunhan able to find the quick release.
Very quick, yeah.
And now 12-2 with 4:33 left. Seidemann. Here's Kylie Neutral on the far side. And she will draw an exclusion here, but first the ball is coming out. Maybe a double. Yep. So Aria Fisher excluded for Team USA. I'm trying to see who went out for China. And now another exclusion. So now a 5-on-4 here, and Maddie Musselman is in the back of the net.
You almost wanted them to set up a 5-on-4 to see what that would look like, but the quick shot is a smart way to go when she has such a lane open like that.
Musselman wide open here after the second exclusion on China had sent Zhao Zihan out. How do you feel about double exclusions?
I don't feel very good about them.
No. Kind of remind me of like a double foul in basketball. Like someone had to be the instigator or the initiator, right?
At least they rectified the situation in which the clock was reset, a blatant advantage for the offensive team.
That shot sails high. .340 to play. The excitement has been removed from this one with Team USA so firmly in control here. Contra foul, and the signal there from the official, some sort of fireman's carry.
Well, I think if there's something they're trying to work on, it's actually to see what kind of center play they can get done.
Nuschel pushes ahead. Mackenzie Fisher. That'll do. Mackenzie Fisher, recent Laguna Beach High School grad, led that team to a couple of excellent years in the CIF Southern Section rankings. They were a tough team. Laguna Beach actually just finally lost a game not too long ago in high school, but they had been so dominant.
I was going to say still excellent, but how much more fun is it that there's a bit of more competition at that top level of CIF?
Oh, yeah. I think many of the other coaches around the CIF are pretty happy to see these two in the pool here in Texas. Aria would also be on the Laguna Beach. Of course, girls' season winding down now in Southern California. Outside attempt there, Johnson, but Aria Fisher would normally be playing as well, so with Mackenzie moving on, Fisher here, that's a big void of talent for Coach Ethan D'Amato.
Void of talent. That's a funny way of putting it, but it's exactly right.
Pass goes in and stolen away by China. 2:18 to play, and they will call for time. 14-2, USA in front. Update you on some of the numbers here. Team USA 0 for 8 on the power play, unofficially, of course. 1 for 4 for China. Neither side has attempted a penalty shot. Turnovers about even. We know Maggie Steffens with 3 goals. Again, they're really spreading it around here. 2 for Mathewson, 2 for Nuschel, 2 for Seidemann, Musselman, Fatal, Gilchrist, Mackenzie Fisher, Cammie Craig in on this. So right now the only field players who haven't scored for Team USA, KK Clark and Aria Fisher. Ashley Johnson with 12 saves in net. And for China, just the 2 goals.
I think you could see even by that last possession that they are really trying to get the ball to the center. 3 defenders, they're not going to get the call, but they're still making that play.
How are you enjoying this picture-in-picture of us, by the way, James?
I try to avoid looking at myself, Greg.
Out of the break, Seidemann harassing defense here on the near side. Ooh, nice switching of hands there by Sun Ya-Ting, but it results in a save from Johnson. Long outlet. Here's Clark. Nuschel. Steffens goes into Seidemann. She's triple teamed. And it's stolen away.
It's a bit of a reminder of some old drills where you do have 2-3 defenders on the center and almost anything goes, and you still try to get a score, a foul, an ejection.
Sun Yat-ting again working inside, changing hands once more. This time draws a penalty.
I think this is what we expected to see more of, and Team USA's defense is changed over the past couple periods, but there were some very quality players in the center here.
I totally agree with you. I thought too we'd see more of Sun Yat-ting doing some damage here. Now a chance for Zhao Zihan. Skip bar down and in. And China gets one back. Neutral called there on the penalty.
Get the sense that the crowd is surprised that Ashley Johnson didn't make that save.
Well, it has been some time since China has put a couple of goals together, so you can understand that feeling. Exclusion called. Under a minute to play here in the third. And another goal. It's like Mackenzie Fisher.
First power play of the night, and it's almost hard to believe.
Yeah, seems a bit improbable, but that is something that they can look to.
That's right.
Yu Guanan, the excluded player. Under a minute to go here. Fisher stepping over to come up with the steal. Nicely done. Seidemann trying to go to Gilchrist, not enough on that pass, and China able to come up with it. And that should bring us to the end of the third here. One last try. Johnson able to pull it down. And after 3 quarters, USA has this one in the bag, 15-3. They lead over China. We'll return with the fourth and final. Stay with us right here from Texas.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
Fourth quarter upon us here in Louisville, Texas on night 2 of the FINA Women's Intercontinental Tournament. And Team USA has this one wrapped up ahead 15-3 as we start the final 8 minutes, along with James Smith from TotalWaterPolo.com. Greg Meskel here with you. We're back tomorrow for more water polo action. Join us starting at 4:40 p.m. for China and Canada, then Japan and Team USA, followed by Australia and Brazil. And we look ahead towards that USA-Japan matchup. Of course, you're thinking, well, odds are largely in favor of Team USA, but be curious to see, as that shot is tipped out by Johnson, how the United States handles that kind of different style that Japan presents.
Well, it's a diplomatic way of saying that I happen to think it's not going to be a very close matchup, but the Team USA, I think what they have that Team Brazil did not today was that extra step, that extra bit of precision, and so I'm not sure it's going to be terribly challenging.
Way to sell that game, James.
But it's going to be hey, no bigger fan of the Japanese women's team than me.
About a minute gone by here. Here's a counterattack. Musselman on the skip. So a second there for Maddie Musselman. Played high school at Corona Del Mar and then stepped away from high school this past year to train full-time with Team USA. Did online schooling to finish up and recently announced she'll be headed to UCLA for her college water polo. Her older sister Alex, a goalkeeper for the Bruins, so family affair there in Westwood.
This group that's moving on to college is just amazing. It's going to be, like you said, a year from now in the college game, it's going to be something to watch.
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit today in the counterattack about how the college game is going to be missing a few of its stars in this season, but boys are going to have some exciting talent come 2017 year. As a turnover here, not taking anything away from the teams that are playing. There are still a host of excellent players. I mean, keep in mind, you can only have 13 on an Olympic team, so there are still a ton of people who are excellent future Olympians out there playing in the college ranks.
Well, and as we discussed, this is going to attract yet more players to play at the United States intercollegiate level. Those who may just barely be off of the Olympic level. It's a bright future for the game at the college level in that way. Lots of talent.
Cammie Craig is excluded there in the field block. Well, it goes in cycles too. You know, now you think back to 2012 as Coach Krikorian calls for a timeout. That was the end of a more veteran era. And so there were players previously, I think back to 08, someone like Courtney Mathewson, Catino Award winner in college UCLA, not even on the national team. That's right. So there very well could be someone out there right now who is dominant at the collegiate level that is not on this national team. Kylie Neuschel did not make the 2012 Olympic team, was busy winning 2 Catino Awards and national titles. So it does tend to go a bit in cycles, and there tends to be an opportunity for folks eventually.
That's right, and Coach Krikorian is surely looking for a balance of those who have that kind of raw talent, those who have experience in blending them together, and so there's no sure things.
Out of the timeout. Johnson will come up to mid-tank here to put the ball in play. Under 6 to go here in the fourth. Here's Mathewson, who we just spoke of, the elder stateswoman of this team. Fisher, she's stopped there.
Well, there the Chinese were able to actually slow down some ball movement and force it from an awkward shot, awkward position.
Another field block there from Mathewson.
coach's favorite statistic, right? Field blocks.
Yeah, one that underreported, to say the least. Contra foul there, no goal. On the hook in close from Shang Junhan. One that I think is being talked about more in water polo in recent years is the field block, especially ever since that rule change came along to really benefit your defense when you are field blocking. But of course, not as attractive as, say, the goal or the save stat.
Not as exciting, but keeping the ball from actually getting to the point where the goalkeeper has to make a save. This has to be the goal.
Sure. We'll stoppage here to put the cap back on. Generally a team effort to get at least the swim cap back on.
You got to have two people to do it, yeah. You and I know that better than anybody.
My flowing mane of hair, I've got to always make sure I have a swim cap on. So,
if nothing, just to keep you warm.
Yeah. Under 5 minutes left. This one has been decided for quite a while. 16-3. USA women ahead. They led 5-1 after 1, 10-1 at half, 15-3 after 3. An exclusion against Team USA and a timeout here by China.
I wonder whether Coach K is getting frustrated by the lack of calls at center, whether this is a purpose-driven effort on their part to just simply keep the ball going in. But we've had, I don't know how many contra fouls that are coming out of the center.
Good look there at the huddle. All smiles now for Adam Krikorian as they're in good shape here ahead 16-3. More water polo all this week here in Texas, and then the National League resumes this Saturday on the men's side at Santa Ana High School Segerstrom High School in Santa Ana. All day on Saturday. 8 teams competing. Live stats available via the FOSH. Full information there at usawaterpolo.org. And exciting this year for the National League. A lot of the best players involved with the men's national team in residential training. You're going to get some of those big names competing this year in the National League.
Oh, that'll be really fun. And go check out the rosters and just go check to see if somebody who is from your area is on it, because I think the diversity, at least geographically, is as good as it's been.
Yeah, we know there's some players from the Southwest Zone.
That's right.
Second chance there off the bar. Third try is in. As sides had come even. Wang Xinyang. And that makes it 16-4. Well, you give China 3 cracks at this.
They have to work so hard to get these goals, but once again, they've got the talent to do so.
(16-4), Team USA. KK Clark out of nowhere. Already tough to deal with at about 6'3", but then she gets up high out of the pool.
It's kind of jaw-dropping.
Neuschel. The skip is in. And another hat trick for Kylie Neuschel. So 5 last night, 3 tonight. And make it 17-4. So back-to-back nights of 17 goals here for Team USA. Well, they will play Australia this week, and that I feel pretty confidently will be a close match. I think Canada is going to give them a game as well.
Here, I'll redeem myself by saying that I think those will be tight games. I think the Australia game is actually something that I'm really looking forward to. They've had very good results, and as we saw today, I don't know if they were exactly at the top of their game, but you can see that that's a matchup that that the Team USA can falter on, and they've suffered a loss earlier this season exactly that way.
Yeah, go back to the fall, and Team USA was handled by Australia in some matches in Rio de Janeiro at a test event. Played them in a series then in California, and much closer contests as they went to San Diego, up in the Santa Barbara area, Dos Pueblos High School.
It's not always easy to gauge where each team is when those are essentially exhibitions, but it's going to be a very interesting matchup.
Here's Clark. Inside, Craig, missing left. Shang Kong. And here's New Guanan. Shot clock under 10. Long distance, and Clark is there with another field block.
Goalkeeper number 2.
Gilchrist.
We did mention earlier, specifically about Team Australia, about their size, strength, and
Mackenzie Fisher with another.
And one of the things that you can tell, actually, about this United States team in particular is length. They really have it. And just set aside the fact that they have phenomenal leg strength, which most teams do, but a player like KK Clark really does essentially serve as another obstacle in front of the cage like this.
Yeah, definitely an athlete in addition to Johnson. As Fisher adds her third. From the outside and deflected away by Ashley Johnson. 1:22 to play, fourth quarter. 18-4, Team USA in the lead. And a steal by Gilchrist. Musselman. Craig, the lob is in.
Boy, she earned that. She was getting hammered for the last 15 seconds.
So Cammie Craig able to power that one home for her second.
I think Wang Xingyan connected with Cammie Clark's face about 10 times before that shot went off.
Yeah, a lot of contact there, to say the least. China returns. Scored for number 12, Shang Qing.
Once again, where's that been? You know, it's a very effective shot from that angle.
Gilchrist. Last possession here for Team USA with under 10 seconds to play. Ahead 19-5, 2 commanding victories to start play here in Texas. And Gilchrist will let things expire. And that'll bring an end to this one. So Team USA wins it again in convincing fashion, 19-5. This is a night after a 17-2 victory. We look at some of the final stats here. And just a strong effort all the way around. Maggie Steffens, Kylie Neuschel, Mackenzie Fisher, all with 3 goals apiece. Ashley Johnson, 18 saves. This all despite Team USA going just 1 for 9 unofficially in the power play. China goes 1 for 6, and they spread it around. A couple of goals, but unable to really get any one player going in the right direction. And when you look at their save stats, Pyang Lin with 6 saves. James, they just didn't really build any consistency early, and then the USA freight train ran away on them.
The USA defense was able to match them up no matter what way that they tried to attack the cage. And in the end, the efficiency was just not there. 5 goals out of 37 shots. That's simply not going to work against this kind of defense.
So as we wrap things up here, now time for our Clean Athlete Player of the Game, and you could take really any pick here because there are so many talented players here for Team USA. But we go with Kylie Neuschel as our Clean Athlete Player of the Game. Neuschel scoring 3 goals in this one, 5 goals last night. A fantastic start, 8 goals over 2 games, impressive stuff. And Neuschel and Team USA will be back in action tomorrow right here in Texas. They'll take on Japan at 6 p.m. Live coverage starts at 4:40 p.m. all Central Time right here on USA Water Polo TV. That is going to wrap things up for us here tonight from Louisville. For my partner James Smith from TotalWaterPolo.com and our entire broadcast team, Greg Muskell signing off. We will see you back here poolside in Texas tomorrow at 4:40 p.m. Central Time. Have a great evening.